this is mild for some of the, I'll show you the river and the city streets and some of these fences. But I imagine our swimming pool, see how brown it is and all the, you know, that's they're gonna have to drain that, clean that, so the kids are gonna be without a swimming pool for a while, which is unfortunate because they really, you know, it's always busy there. All the kids like to go swimming.
Especially in the summer, like we're only in the middle of July.
Right. And I don't know, the cities, like on that's not priority, so it might be done for the year. I don't know, that's the city who takes care of that, but their guys are out fixing, you know, streets. I don't know how all the sewage is going and all that, but
imagine even their own homes as well.
Yep. We had a number of houses that filled up with water, you know, on the first flood last Thursday, and then again yesterday, you know, so horrible.
How, I guess when you talk to people in the city, you know, how are they feeling? Because I kind of feel just this sense of just exhaustion, you know, like I see the courthouse doors are open. I'd imagine water got in there as well. So, I mean, I'd imagine I'd be tired of it myself.
Yeah, and I mean, you get hit Thursday, and then yesterday it rained for I don't know how many hours, just straight down, and everybody, you know, again, you know what I'm saying? What didn't manage to get damaged probably got damaged yesterday, so the roads were even worse after the second day, you know, of flooding. And I saw whole fence lines in the southeast part of the county that were gone, and you know, took up the highway, the farm market roads, and then the county roads are just really devastated.
You know, mostly farmers and ranchers, like ag industry big out here.
Yes.
How are they doing?
They're doing best they can. They trying to keep their livestock, or exotic deer, trying to keep them in their places. And I'm sure a lot of them are either gone forever, or on the neighbors or something, you know, because the fences got took down. So this is called Harris Hollow, and
Your house get a little higher, but
did it get in your house?
no.
No. Well, Harris Hollow comes into town back in here, and this area here. So that was just a normal road, you know.
Oh.
And so
The water's still
still running.
Man, that's a pipe exposed too.
Yep. No, culvert. That's probably been filled up for a while. I don't know. But, and so Harris Hollow dumps down and goes through town, and it got in a lot of houses and caused a lot of damage. This is also sort of as you can see, like that's not supposed to be like that. The damage is, and I've got I don't know how many streets that are like this.
About how high did the water get?
Above, I think the report was around 12 foot. That was this morning. As far as Friday, it was worse. I don't have that stat, but I'll get it to you pretty quick. Big chunks of just concrete, you know, floating down the road. And so here's Harris Hollow also. And that's going right to town.
The water's still running.
Yep, and that's headed right towards a bunch of residences in town.
know in San Angelo, you know, you're seeing a lot of people helping people, doing the best they can, but, you know, we generally have more people in town and not everybody got affected. So what do you do in a small town where, you know, you don't even have 2,000 people, but most everybody's affected in some way, shape, or form?
Yes, Menard sticks together. You know, people are going to know who to check on and who not because they're so close, and that's just the way it works. And they all pitch in and help each other out.
How long have you been here?
I started here in 1996 as a deputy, and this is the biggest one I've ever seen. I know there's been some bigger ones, but I have never seen one. And so this is Harris Hollow coming into town. And you see, this was a normal street.
Oh wow! So that's not a
that's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
And you know, look at the patch of asphalt right here.
Wow.
I just lifted it up. This was a normal street right here last week. You know, you can't drive a car on it. You can maybe get this truck down it, but you know, the city doesn't have the funds to take care to rebuild these roads, you know.
So what do you do in the meantime?
Best you can. People just gonna have to live with it for a while. And do the best they can. You know, I'd say there's $1 million at least street damage just in town.
Is the state aid gonna help any?
I hope so. I've had some state agencies call asking. So look at the street right here.
Wow.
So that's shot down. And you know, you can't cross that in a car.
You know, I drive a Honda Civic.
Yep.
Normally, that's my work vehicle back at the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing would flip.
And so this is a normal street. It was a normal street. Now it's. And so Harris Hollow came up, and then it's headed for people's houses back in here, you know.
Had any injuries, people missing?
No, we got blessed with nothing like that. Nothing like Kerrville. You see, they've already been cleaning up.
It's good they have, like, you know, a bin somewhere to put the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people in San Angelo, they're just putting stuff outside, but it's mattresses,
Right.
couches, you know, even floorboards.
You want to run out in the county and look at some fences or anything?
Sure.
Okay.
It's the general consensus for at least us, and then I just heard it from you here that most of them have never seen anything like this.
No, there's some people that saw it go over the bridge and the main bridge in town. They've seen it, the river go over that, but that's been, I don't know what year that was. But I've been here 30 years next year, and worst I've seen by far. You can see how the water was going so fast. You see the debris underneath the car. I mean, all the trash cans, these little blue trash cans, any of them that were out like that, they all ended up down by the courthouse and towards the river, and some of them were gone. I'm gonna get on the highway. We can get around all this a little quicker. The state sent boats with the game wardens and a task force out of Fort Worth. So we had rescue teams here Friday and yesterday, and just in case. So that was nice, you know. I know that the high school had damage in it. They flooded a whole one of the lower rooms, filled all the way up to like the ceiling, and they had to pump that water out, and I'm sure they had to do it again today.
I think the part that gets to me, just having seen everything, is how unexpected everything was. Like, we had the July 3rd concert in San Angelo.
Right.
And then, you know, by 6 o'clock the next morning, parts of the city were unrecognizable.
Yeah, this is a big weekend for family reunions. Everybody wants to be on the river just to camp. There was a number of family. It is amazing that we didn't, you know, we didn't lose somebody. We got blessed there. A lot of times all my neighboring sheriffs called. Pretty much all the neighboring sheriffs called me and asked if they could help, they could send people. That's how we get through things. Everybody pitches in.
Seem to know most everybody in town.
Yeah. We're not that big. It's, like I said, it's tight. Tight community here. So this is what we call a river road. And just south of Hext, at one of the low water crossings, which I've never seen water at, it took the highway, picked it up, and just took it down to the bedrock. So you have to have a truck to get across it. And that did it in two places down there between us and London. You know, the state will have to fix that. Took out whole fences. Just gone. I don't know what happened to the guy's livestock and wildlife there, but I'm sure a number of it is lost forever. The county roads have lots of places that are just totally washed out. And Menard County only has one road maintainer. starting to see the river here. This isn't the river. But you can see how high it got in here by the fence lines. You couldn't get past right there Friday.
See the horses like wading.
Yeah.
Is there normally water out there at all?
No.
Wow.
No.
We got horses in ankle deep water today.
Yeah. I guess out here, if we're not in a drought, we're flooding this year. We had no rain for pretty much all spring and winter, and a lot of us were barely holding on to our livestock, and now the rain just won't stop, you know. You can see the results of the droughts on these pecan trees right in here. See all these dead pecan trees?
Yeah, pecan trees are, if I'm not mistaken, are supposed to be drought resistant.
Well, they got not so much. They generally grow on a river bottom, and naturally they need some water. Let's see, we'll start to see some of the fence damage. The water came up to this house. Came up to the house. I don't think it got in, but it got into that garage a little bit. It was all right here. He had to bring all his vehicles and tractors and put them up here. And that was Friday. Yeah, I don't know how the city's gonna fix those streets without some financial help, you know, of some sort. And the county, it'll take us a long time to get all the county roads fixed. I've got one road maintainer and miles and miles of fence washed out. I mean roads.
Anything that could happen that you think might speed up the timeline?
Just financial help, you know. Be nice to have more equipment in here to help.
Is there anything people can do at home in other cities?
I'm not sure unless they can bring a road maintainer. Did you see this man's field here? Mm-hmm. You know, that you shouldn't see rocks. This was all just a nice dirt field for growing crops. And this fence was up. It looked just like that. So took out his fence too.
There's still water.
Yeah, it'll be he's gonna have a problem growing crops at least ever like it was, because you know, it's the bare rock now, a lot of it. They'll get it going back again, but it'll just take time.
Those cotton over there?
No, it's all hay and hay grazer of some sort. There's no cotton produced here. So this is our 5-mile crossing of the San Saba River. Yesterday morning I was here and TxDOT had their equipment out and was clearing the road, and within an hour or two they had to get out because of the rain.
Wow.
And so everything they did yesterday, they're going to have to redo again because they didn't know it was going to rain like that.
And it's still flowing over.
Yes, it's impassable right now. All these fences are gone. Yesterday there was a guy fishing right by that little yellow sign that's in the water.
Wow.
And TxDOT had a front end loader and they were cleaning the road. And then within an hour or two later, it's back underwater. You know. And that road's designed to, for the most part, hold up. But a lot of the county roads and city roads weren't. I don't know, a lot of people here in Menard County either weren't able to get flood damage or flood insurance or just didn't have it. So they're just at the mercy, you know. Whole pecan tree, live pecan tree pulled up. That hurts the value of the land. There's other places down in the southeast part of the county. There's fences everywhere. Once you get to any elevation, any slope, the fences are, it ran so hard in spots that it just took out fences. This is a little more flatter, so the water didn't rush as much except in the crossings. But most of the county, a lot of the ranchers had lost a lot of fence to this flood, these two floods. You want to see something else?
Sure, unless you're running low on time.
No, time. It's a little ways out there.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Be a lot quicker if we could go through there, but we can't.
Yeah. You said there was a man fishing? Was he just like wading in the water?
No, he was standing on the bridge. The water wasn't over the bridge. He's on the edge of the bridge fishing.
Probably still catch a catfish.
Yeah. He caught a gar while I was standing there. Or I'd pulled up and was visiting with him yesterday morning. You see the whole patches of the highway out there.
Yeah, there's still water over here. Wow.
You can see the center stripe down there. This isn't, you know, you can't drive a car through here.
Is this normally a creek?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope, there's usually not water running there. Sounds like to me he's got to finish that other one. Maybe, he said what, end of the week? And then they'll have to, so I guess next week they'll have to come over here to that one. here's where this ranch, all that fence was down. They threw it back up. You can see how high the water got right in here, through here. They,
The fence is
yeah.
falling over there.
Yeah, it's gone there. It was gone here too, but they picked it up. They have big white-tailed deer in here. Don't know if they have any left, but you can see all this gravel was not here. That was washed from wherever. Or the topsoil was taken off of it. I know the guy that takes care of this ranch, and he said all 4 fences have big holes in them. So they've bound to have lost a lot of their wildlife. And this has been cleaned up already a little bit.
Still have water running
Yeah.
over the road.
Still does.
Wow.
You see, they've already picked that up, the fences. Thrown them up best he could to keep the deer in, what's left of them. Of course, they haven't got to this over here yet. All this dirt was down in here. Just all these trees. There's the old fence behind it. Piece of road. You can see. This was a massive water event here. We would be underwater if it was Friday.
Wow.
I mean, look how wide this is. Quarter mile from when we went back there. I mean,
Wow. That's not like, you know, that's not a plastic fence, you know.
this was a major water event in here. You know, there's that guy's fence. I mean, you know, if you're a deer or cow in this place, where would you go? You see what I'm saying? All the fences are up and the water's at the top of these fences. So I'm sure they lost a lot of animals. There's a house back in there. I'm sure it's got flood damage. I'll take you down Saline Road a little ways and you can see one spot sort of where all these people, some of their stuff ended up down there. Some of these people that live along here. This is called Saline Road in the southeast part of Menard County, pretty close to the Kimball County line. Here's where some of the debris is. A lot of people's stuff ended up down here. Obviously, we'd be underwater if we were here Friday. There's a washing machine.
Washing machine.
Yeah, back here.
Wow. Fantastic.
We'll come back.
Water does water not normally run here either?
No, not always. Saline Creek.
Good tree.
Yep. Those are some big posts that it just pulled up.
Wow.
That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of force by water. It swept through here. Took the fences and all. You know, that's pretty dang heavy corner post there. Luckily, the cemetery was just high enough. The old timers, I guess, knew they needed to get it on a hill. They were right. They got the corner of it, but you ready to go back now?
Sure.
This road is bad, and further on down you go, there's bad spots where you can barely get through. A car can't get through.
What were y'all expecting before it started raining?
What's that?
I said, what were y'all expecting before it started raining? Like, was there?
Just a rain. That's all. We were wanting rain. Wanted a rain for the ranchers and farmers. This is a different ball game, you know. We weren't counting on this kind of destruction to the county roads and the city, and the houses and fences. People are going to have to start out and gut their houses and start over or move. Surprised we're not finding dead cows or something. There's that washing machine.
Yeah, it looks like it got launched.
Yeah.